We're the Redneck Redcoats, and we're sailing SV, fresh to Solden.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now. Let's move closer to a new history, find out what we can be together. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. This is our final chance. 'Cause one day we'll be looking back at this. We were in a big mess together. But we found a way to choose right from wrong. We found the strength to go on together. To go on together. Yeah. To go on together. To go on
So we're heading to Mangrove Key. We got up at 4 AM, but it was so cloudy that the moon was completely, you couldn't see anything. So we both decided to take the wiser choice of not setting off then. So we left it a couple of hours and then set off around 6. So we've been doing on average about 6-7 knots. We are motor sailing, but we do have the sails out, which is one step better. Wind's behind us, it's 10 knots. We're going the long way round to get to Mangrove Key because of the rocks, and there is one cut, but you have to go through at high tide, and I don't want to risk it. I'm not in that kind of frame of mind anymore, so we're just being very cautious, although we are dragging the dinghy behind us, and the main reason for that is we just didn't want to haul it up this morning. Plus we'll be doing a lot of short half-day sails once we get to Mangrove, so it doesn't make sense anyway. Yeah, so fairly pleasant. Seas about 1 foot, 2 foot. Haven't seen a lot of other boats, so we'll see.
I came up to the cockpit just to check on everybody, and this is how I found them. Nobody was really seasick, but everybody was laying down to make sure they didn't get seasick. Everybody did eventually get up because we had to make one last tack. We actually spent most of the sail from West End to Mangrove Key tacking back and forth trying to get into the right area because we were going into the wind. As you can see, Talon's helping. I think he's ready to go to the other side and pull the rope next time. What's with the two princesses in their carriage here?
So it's like, this looks either like a post-apocalyptic area or like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Okay, Katie wasn't totally wrong. This island was covered with a whole lot of mangroves that were killed in Hurricane Dorian, and so there's dead trees, and then there's no real sand. It's more like mud or clay, really wet clay, especially with the tide out. But we did see several really cool little corals that were actually in the mud in little pools of water where the tide had gone out.
We see these things in the water and I always wonder what they are. No, it's like a hard coral of some sort.
Trap?
Oh, I see it. Yeah, that is a trap.
Where?
Right by that log.
All the dead coral. There's like hundreds of pieces of it. Yeah. Look at that
There's another one.
bottle.
Down.
No, but that's an old bottle. Yeah,
An old bottle. There's two. There's one right
some
here.
kind of flask. It's an old bottle.
Oh. That's it stuck.
Colin's
I
stuck.
found stuff.
Colin is
Right,
stuck.
we'll go that way then.
I almost
Nexie,
Yeah.
poked my eye on
if it's muddy like that, then you stay out of it.
I think we should get the dinghy up here.
Probably. You just want to walk to that end where those birds are and then... Well, let's walk to there and see if we can see it. If not, we'll go back and get the dinghy.
We didn't actually spend a lot of time at this island. There was supposed to be a plane crash on the opposite side of the island where we could go and snorkel, but we attempted that the day after we arrived, and the water was a lot rougher and more rolly, and it just didn't feel like a great idea to dinghy all the way around to the other side of the island. So we ended up packing up and leaving after this. But if you stay tuned for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try to do a video for each island that we visited. It's not a lot, it's 2 or 3 islands, but there is lots of interesting stuff coming up.